Hey guys, it's Jackie. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Dips and Dialogues. Today's topic of conversation is all about dating and knowing when you're ready to do that. The dip of choice today is queso, and I have some special guests that I would love to introduce. This is
Sarah. Hi.
Yari. Hi.
Muriel. Hi.
If you guys would love to hear this conversation, then just keep on watching. So I first want to start by thanking my guests for being on the show today. We're going to start off by doing a little Q&A. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first question is, how well do you know yourself? Have you ever actually spent necessary time alone? Anybody ever actually spent some time, like more than a maybe 6-month period by themselves, single?
Without a relationship?
All the
No.
time. I spent like
No?
3 years.
You got 3 years by yourself, okay.
And
That's
it
solid.
really allows you to like get yourself together, realize like what all you can do by yourself, not really rely on anyone until you have to rely on anyone. I think it's very important.
I think I've had a lot of time for myself, and I try to spend my time like working on myself and getting to know myself and knowing what I want and what I don't want. So I think that's important. Sometimes people go from like relationship to relationship and they never really take a break to just like figure out themselves. I think
That's me.
yeah.
I feel like I haven't had a 6-month time period of being like just by myself, me alone. I've had maybe like, let's say like 2-3 months, and then all of a sudden you're talking to someone. So I mean, not necessarily being in a relationship, but you're not alone either. You're still entertaining other people, so you're not actually taking the time to work on yourself and just be with yourself.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
it's super important to just spend time with yourself and work on your mental health, but also where you are at in your life, and focus on your goals and what you're doing instead of having to think of what someone else is doing or what they want from you or what they need.
Very good
It's
point.
important to focus on yourself and work on yourself.
It's and like you said, goals, like it's important during that time to make sure you set your goals so that way like if somebody comes along and make sure they compliment you and your goals. Like add them as a compliment to your life, not really like depending on each other type thing.
Absolutely. That's right. I mean, I think a lot of times people are in search of relationships because they have that void where they feel like they need someone to kind of make them happy. And I think it's so important to just realize like a relationship is supposed to be an asset to you. What is that person's life and existence bring into your life? And that's really important to figure out. You know, why else would you be dating that person otherwise? Like, what's the point? Exactly.
Yeah, it's important to be happy in singleness so you can also be happy when you're in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're bringing, if you're not in a good place, you're bringing baggage to your relationship, you're bringing your mental health issues if you have any, you're bringing your struggles, and you need to work on that first in order to be with someone.
So the author of The 5 Love Languages, Gary Chapman, says that in order for people to have a healthy, functioning relationship, you should know not only your love language, but the love language of the person that you're with. Okay? And so some of the love languages that Gary talks about are quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, and physical touch. So out of the 5 of those, what do you guys think your love language is? And how has that been working for you? How did you figure that out? Do you ever like share that with your partner? Do you feel like your needs are met in those relationships? Just talk a little bit about that.
Mine's quality time. So look at me. I definitely like you can buy me anything you want, but in the end, that's not what like impresses me. Like I want to make memories with you. Like I don't care if you're playing video games while I'm reading a book. It's the fact that you're there. We're spending this quality time that may not mean anything to him means something to me, and like just stuff like that means more to me than like getting roses. Like don't get me wrong, that's good.
Yeah,
but like
gestures.
yeah, like they're nice gestures, but like it's not what impresses me. You know.
Yeah, for
Very
sure.
true. What are your love languages?
I think mine are acts of service, for sure. I don't know why, randomly, right? Acts of service, quality time, and I would say gifting. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
all of them.
So acts of service, what do you want your significant other to
Acts of service for me would be like going to the grocery store, just picking up something that you know that I like, and you're there for yourself, but you're gonna get something for me that you know. Oh, I'm gonna get you Cheez-Its because I know you like Cheez-Its. I like that.
The thoughtfulness.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, that's very much like, I think that's the biggest one for me is the acts of service.
What about yours, Miriam?
Well, mine are definitely words of affirmation, quality time, and the other one is physical touch. Just because I feel like I am a person that's very in touch with their emotions all the time, and it's difficult for me to put on a good face if I'm not having a great day. So I really try to make it seem like nothing is going on, but it's really difficult, especially if you're with someone you care about. Like, you just want to have that, you know, open feeling that I can tell you anything and I can just open up to you and tell you this is how I feel. So I think something like just giving you a hug or making you feel secure, like everything's gonna be okay, that's super important. I like reassuring people and letting them know that they're important in my life. So I expect that in return as well.
Those are really good points. You know, Gary mentions that a lot of times the mistake that a lot of people make are that we love people the way we want to be loved in return, instead of loving others for the way that they need to be loved. So we go into relationships and we think, oh, I love quality time, he should love quality time.
But
that's not the case. And that's a lot of times why you have those little issues in those relationships. You fail to see things from other people's perspectives. So I think that's a very good point that we should all kind of like self-reflect on and see, are we doing that in our relationships? Or is this why we're having issues? Okay, so transitioning into the third question, Muriel and I have spent some time thinking about attachment styles, okay, because this is also really important. In fact, your attachment styles really trace all the way back from your childhood and your relationship with your parents. Muriel, I think, knows a little bit more than I do about this. Can you just enlighten the people a little bit, share with us a little bit about what those attachment styles are, and we'll go into details a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like if you guys haven't looked into your attachment style, definitely that's something you should do research on. It's really helpful and important to know about this. And as Jackie mentioned, it traces back to your childhood. So that first interaction you had with your parents or your guardian or whoever raised you, that is what is going to be a decisioning factor in how you turn out as far as your attachment style develops. And they are basically 4 main attachment styles. One of the attachment styles would be the anxious, preoccupied attachment style. As a child, your needs weren't always met. So when it comes to a relationship, you are very dependent on the other person, very clingy, you're very emotional, and you kind of feed off of the energy of the other person. So you basically become like a people pleaser, to where you're always trying to make sure that person is satisfied, and you don't really take care of your needs.
Another attachment style is the secure attachment style. In childhood, these children's needs were met by their parents. If they cried, their parents came to their aid. They had their needs for food and shelter and comfort met. And these children usually grow up to be self-sufficient adults who are able to have functioning relationships. They're able to communicate what they need in their partner. And so overall, these people don't really have too many problems having healthy relationships for the most part.
Yeah, it's very easy for someone to grow up and maybe some of their needs were met, but not all their needs were met. Because let's be real, what family is super perfect and they're just going to be raising secure kids? I mean, if that's you, that's great. Another one that is important to mention of the attachment styles would be the avoidant, which is the dismissive avoidant. So basically, a person that has a dismissive avoidant attachment style was neglected at childhood, which means their parents were never around and they had to learn how to fend for themselves. They bottle up their emotions because they're not used to opening up to others. So their way of coping is just keeping everything to themselves. In the relationship, they're just very insecure. Eventually, they grow distant from their partner because they can't relate to each other. So that's definitely not one of the best attachment styles to have. The last one would be the disorganized attachment style. This one is very toxic, you could say, because it is when in your childhood you were mistreated and you grow up to get into relationships that mimic what you used to have as a child. You basically start searching for what you know, and that can lead into you having very It could even be abusive relationships and toxic relationships, to where you're very controlling of the other person and you're just not satisfied with anything.
Right. Okay. Guys, that's really, really good information. So for those of you who are interested in dating, just take some time to kind of like reflect on yourselves, figure out what your attachment styles are, the attachment styles of the person that you're dealing with, and then that way you guys can start off with a fresh and strong foundation to build that relationship. Okay, so the last segment of our show is we're going to play the put one finger down game. Okay, we're only going to use one hand today because, well, we don't want the video to get too long. Let's not show them our manicures, ladies, because they probably don't look that great. So I'll speak for you guys.
No manicure edition over here.
Nail polish.
I tried doing acrylic by myself.
Can you zoom up on that?
Oh, Sarah.
Okay, so put one finger down if you think that you are emotionally ready and you're in a good place to start dating. I didn't ask if you wanted to date. I asked put one finger down if you're emotionally ready to date. Do you know yourself well enough? Okay, so now put one finger down if your last partner had a different attachment style than you did.
Yep.
Put one finger down if you've spent at least 3 months by yourself, not dating someone.
Way more.
I was about to say.
Girl.
Okay, put one finger down if you think that you need to learn a little bit more about yourself. That you haven't given yourself adequate time to get to know yourself and what you want.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've had enough time.
I think I've been in this season of singleness for a while, so I'm kind of ready to go.
Never stop working on yourself.
Oh, absolutely. It's a never-ending journey, 100%. And remember, as you get older, you change and you're a different person. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 21 years old. So that's important. It never ends.
Yeah.
Last question. Put one finger down if you've ever stayed in a toxic relationship a little bit too long and you feel like maybe you should have
Left.
left, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Probably when I was younger.
Okay.
Not now.
Yeah, I think if we're going way back, then for sure.
Yes.
Okay, so how many fingers did we all leave off with?
One.
One. Oh, we're the same. One. Okay, so before we sign off, ladies, I want to give everybody a quick minute to just have a 20-second shout out. I know that we all know Sarah from the last video, so I'll have her say it again just in case we have a new audience, people watching. So Sarah, would you like to tell everybody about your socials that you'd like them to follow you on?
Sure. Snapchat is strishp96 and Instagram is _Sarah_Trish_.
I don't know my.
You know your Instagram? Wait, hold on. Look it up. Hold on.
Okay, so my Instagram is Yahri, as it is said phonetically, so it's YAHREE_. And yeah, you can follow me on that if you'd like.
And my Instagram is MURDOWNS.
Okay. So I want to thank you girls one more time for being here with me and doing this video. I hope that the audience found it very informative. I think I learned some new stuff too. So.
Yeah.
Our journey for self-awareness really never ends. So take what you've learned here and really apply it to your lives, because we want everybody to have like healthy relationships. I think everyone's deserving of love and to give that love and receive that love. So get into a healthy place so that you're able to really enjoy that part of your life. Okay, thank you again for watching, you guys. I love making these videos for you and I hope that you're enjoying them. Go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below and I will see you again in the next video. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.
And remember, put yourself first.
But also we're drinking Aquafina. Nobody
I'm
likes
just good at-
Aquafina.
I'm good at-
I love Aquafina.
Only you.
Why?
Only you.
I'm just good at
Aquafina.
public speaking, but I'm not good at
Because I'm gonna be like, my anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun. I'm like,
Down.
Go, we gotta react.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Wait, you can pull it when I start talking.
oh.
A little bit more than all of us. Can you actually share with the audience what they are, and then we'll go into put one finger down if you think that you actually should be taking some time alone to figure out yourself. It's a lie because I'm pretty good. I'm sorry.
I had a lot.